Hello and welcome to Happy Foot, Sad Foot, your LAFC gateway drug, and the post-game show following our biggest road win of the season against St. Louis City. And by biggest, I mean only. I'm Travis Hellwig.
I'm Vince LaRosa.
I'm Darren Miller.
Well, we did it. We did it. We finally proved that it's possible to win a game outside of the city of Los Angeles. How's everybody feeling?
Wow. We won in the green.
Such a underwhelming feat, yet I'm so happy. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it.
I want to say something right off the bat, which is we just had our worst start in club history this season, and we are currently tied for second in the Western Conference with 21 points. There's teams that have games in hand. However, there is only one team in the West with more than 21 points, and that is, I believe, Salt Lake City. So as much as it feels like the sky is falling for this team, we are in a very, very, very good position lately. And I got to say, April and May have been good to us.
Yeah, I would say it doesn't feel like the sky's falling anymore at all. It did. It fully did. And we're not the same team we were last year.
Falling. It was never.
I said it felt like
it was falling.
Vince. Okay, everyone huddle up. Let's do a little side meeting right now, real quick.
When the sky feels like it's falling, does that just mean it's raining, or how do we?
So sometimes the sky leaves the sky and crashes into the earth, and it's a real thing that happens.
Oh, I think it's also from Chicken Little, right? The children's book.
Yeah.
Little.
Wait, have we taken long enough? Should we go back?
No.
Yeah, we should go back to the show.
Also, I'm insecure about wearing a hat.
No, I like that hat.
That's good.
I thought it was new because it's new to me, but I like that hat a lot.
I like the hat too.
I will be going.
Hey,
I will be.
that is a cool hat.
Gas up the hat. Thank you.
Where'd you get that hat, Travis? It's a cool
you
hat.
mean
happyfootsadfootpod.com.
Oh, that's cool.
I will be reaching out, Darren, so I can purchase one of those hats at cost, please.
Oh, sure. Yes, sure thing. Well, you've got the cash at this point.
I do.
Big announcement from Vince. What happened this game?
All my bets cash, baby. PK saved. It did. I'm gonna count it. It wasn't even for this game, but I called it last game. It finally happened, and that's what set up everything. Let's just be honest. That PK save set up the whole entire game for LAFC. I mean, I would even say so far as when he saves that and the referee sees that goal go in right before halftime, he's like, maybe we got to go check VAR again because I just feel weird about this, guys. And look, there you go. But no, he got a shutout. We made sure that it was shutout with a win because none of us feel good about a 0-0 shutout, even though that would have been very good for LAFC even on the road. But he got the shutout and the win. And so I collect all the money. And Travis and I were talking about a way that I could spread the wealth to the people in the comments, even though not a single one of you deserve it because you're all very mean to me when they lose. But I will find a way.
The team has won and Vince has won, and he deserves your flowers.
Vince, what was the bet? It wasn't the PK. People are asking, what was the bet that cashed?
The bet specifically was that Hugo Lloris would have a clean sheet and LAFC would win the game. Had to be both. Once again, it could not be a 0-0 draw. Hugo Lloris clean sheet and win the game, and he did. And so I will find a way, whether it be to get a couple people some beers or some hot dogs after a game. I'm going to get some of that money out there and then save some of it just in case any of these two jokers end up cashing and I actually have to pay some money. Because I think now that I won, guys, these guys actually want me to put some
going back
skin
into the
in the
pot.
game, which is
there's no way that you're getting away with not paying us when we win this time.
If I know anything about gambling, I don't think that's how it works.
It is when you're the house.
Look,
yeah, I thought I was the house, baby.
Sahari, I'm sorry, Sahari, if I'm saying your name wrong, I'm sorry. Has a great happy foot. Our first away win. We've talked about it. It is without a doubt the biggest monkey that's been on our back all year long, winning in the green kits. I will be so happy when we're done with those kits at the end of the season. Just not pleasant to watch on TV. Vince points out another obvious happy foot, the saved penalty that kind of set the tone for the whole game. And that goal that was overturned. What a wild game that player had. Markinick going from a go-ahead goal to a red card sent off. A terrible turnaround for Markinick.
rough day.
Yeah, he could have had a fantastic game. Instead, he did not. Wow.
And I feel a little bad for the guy because, like, in a lot of ways, your arms do kind of go like that, but it's like a straight arm, and you can't look. You have to be in control of your body parts. I'm sorry to say, St. Louis fans, if there are any of you are watching this, but like, you can't just throw an arm out because some guy's face might be there. And unfortunately, look, it never would have been like a red card, but that's a yellow card, and you get it, and that's the breaks that you get. Like, LAFC's been on the bad end of those. We almost were on the bad end of those in the game. I thought that handball was a little harsh. So I think we're even in the long run on those.
Yeah, he definitely bonked him in the head. You can't bonk him in the head. And it was like open smack.
Yeah, this is a tough break. I don't know that it was intentional.
That definitely
Not
wasn't,
that
but
it
it
matters
doesn't
the call, but
it doesn't have to be on a yellow card. It's just it's not well, stupid's not the word, but it's just you need to be in control of your body.
Yeah, but I think he wasn't in control of his body because Palencia shoved the other side of his body. So he kind of swung around.
No, I think that came.
I'm so sorry. Okay,
I think it was already happening, and then Palencia got him. If you watch the chain of events again.
Ultimately, my big happy foot is the ref. Fantastic ref.
Oh, Darren, don't make it worse.
Wefsby, fantastic.
Yeah. Darren, next you're going to tell me that there's no actual money for me in my bet cashing because it's all gone to Joseph Dickerson. Boy. That full $120. Because remember, we talked about this early in the season. They were striking for a reason. Maybe he wants that money.
I think his bet cash tonight, maybe.
This is why you pay your referees so they don't shave points and they don't.
I forgot if the ref strike was this season. This season has been so long already.
Oh, it's been a lifetime.
This I also want to say, great happy foot. Ilie, turns out I was worried about nothing. Totally fine. I mean, it, took the game off a little bit and came in, in the 70th minute and was fine.
But also, as Al pointed out in the comments, not on the field for the game sealing goal. Like, he had to go off because of like kind of the new rules. And if you stay down, and he was off the field for a solid 3 minutes. And then Bouanga scores. I loved him running. Did you notice him running down the sideline like he was going to run with him?
Oh, really?
He was just like, go, go, go. Yeah, watch the replay again. And you see,
I like him running with the ref. Yeah, he was running with the ref, being like, "Can I go in now? Can I do it now?" Yeah. It's a nerve-wracking new rule. I mean, it'll stop people from doing that, I think.
Can we review again why this rule is in place? What it actually accomplishes?
Because if you're going to stay down and you're not actually injured, then they're going to make you go off the field for a little bit. Because there's a lot of guys that look, you take a little foul and then you see them rolling around like, oh, I'm hurt so bad. Yeah. And then we take extra minutes and then everyone's like, oh, wait, you're fine now? So they're just trying to stamp that out a little bit.
Okay.
My happy foot, because he's waiting to come on, is Aaron fucking Long. And now you can bring in Jeff Cox, because Aaron Long was really good in the game.
I got him on there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's a happy
please
foot.
Welcome
Let's do it. Let's talk
to the show. Any happy feet or sad feet? Jeff Talk, heel of the foot. I can't imagine what you would say after such a beautiful, beautiful victory.
Whenever you see Aaron Long running around, and he played fine tonight, right?
No, not just fine. Not just fine.
A good game for our third center back. You just have to imagine a giant pile of money running around, right? And so you also have to imagine that there's another guy that could be on the team.
You're grading him on a curve
that we don't have because we're paying Aaron Long $1 million 3 times.
You say we don't have a striker?
What?
You said we don't have a striker? I feel like you might have missed some news this week, buddy.
We could have had a striker this whole time. We could be in first place instead of being in third place. You know what I mean? We could have a guy in case Giroud's ankle blows up. You know what I mean? Or hey, we could have like another defensive midfielder. You know what I mean? We could have a left back that doesn't want to kill everyone all the time, that gets weird yellow handballs in the box.
Any happy feet or sad feet, Jeff Talk? Jesus Christ.
So I'd like to completely ignore that and instead start a new segment called the Jeff Talk of the Week. And so I would like to say that Palencia is the Jeff Talk of LAFC. That he's not very good. You don't necessarily want him on the field all the time. Do you know what I mean? And yet he does all the dirty work to make this whole thing fucking play. Do you know what I mean? And like, legitimately,
giving yourself a lot of credit.
I thought you were going to say like the person who's the worst. That's who gets Jeff Talk of the Week. But it's the person that you don't appreciate but does the hard work.
Yeah.
That's the Jeff Talk of the Week.
Good looking.
Wow.
A little short. You know what I mean? Not
interesting. I would say he's the heel of the foot in that, like, if the foot is the formation, he's like on defense. He plays on the back line. I go as far as to say that.
It's a comedy podcast, huh? It's definitely a big potty comedy podcast.
The delivery was strong.
You're a
from Darren,
guest
at
in
least.
our
I
home.
appreciate that.
Look,
Hell of a comeback to just say it's a comedy podcast every time you come on.
it's really a brutal.
I know what I'll say.
Always works. Much like Valencia playing really rough and letting people foul him and then getting him red cards, which is an undervalued asset. I say that it's the Jeff talk of the team, not just in case of like the podcast itself. But if you're not very good at soccer, that's how you play. And I wasn't very good at soccer, and that's how I played. That I like just kicked people in the back of the leg a lot, got in people's fucking faces, yelled, you know what I mean? I was a little fast, whatever. And then once in a while, that guy fucking wants that. And that was absolutely intentional. You guys are out of your minds thinking it's not intentional. He's swinging his arm all the way back. He's coming around like this. Look how far his hand gets behind him. He knows exactly what he's doing. And he thinks, I'm already on a yellow. They're not going to give me a second yellow for that shit. And normally he'd be right. You know what I mean? But he hits him in the face. It's absolutely 100% intentional. I also liked how much that guy looked like he was crying all the time. You can't see soccer. Wait, can you actually see soccer for dummies? I did have some tactics when I was like first coaching. I coached a team in the LA Metro Soccer League for a long time. I should bring my trophies on. That's what I should do next time. Just show up like Trav when he like somebody yells at him on Twitter. He'll just show us Emmys. I should bring my Los Angeles.
You want to see it?
Thing. Anyway,
Yeah, because they are of the same level of his Emmys for sure.
I think I value my soccer trophies more than Travis values his Emmys. What's that one?
This is
that
a podcasting Emmy. It's not an Emmy. It's just a podcasting award. I mean,
That's
Look,
not Travis's fault
What?
that he doesn't
that I'm
value his
very
Emmys.
talented.
No, that he doesn't value his
Well,
Emmys
I
the
mean,
same way.
Whose fault is it, Vince?
You know what? I've actually now signed an NDA too. So
Look, Jeff. Anything else you want to say about the team's performance tonight? Positive or negative?
You enunciated a lot on that. That's weird. I don't like that you did that. I think it was a good game. It's
You're
a nice
talking
game.
so fast. I can't keep up the amount that
I
you're
had
like
I
providing
had
to the
two
show.
Sugar-free Red Bulls. I opened one and then I drank it, and then I thought, did I have one or not? And then I opened a second. I'd seen the first
in honor
one.
of former Red Bull Aaron Long.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Yo,
Yeah,
giant
say one
floppy
nice thing
second
about
one.
Aaron Long.
Second
Yeah,
one.
like an actual
Yeah.
nice thing. He was more than just good.
Aaron Long
He
had a
was-
good game, and this
He
is
was
your
very
punishment.
impressive. He was actually very impressive in the
Yeah,
things he had
And
to do.
Murillo was shaky. The guy you said is above him in the rotation was shaky again.
Yeah, I think he's number 2 now.
To drop kayfabe a little bit, I would say that I think Chanot and Aaron Long are going to be the pairing going forward. That I think that I think Vince had a really good point on the last podcast of
Wow.
that Aaron Long is supposed to do all the dirty work. He's supposed to chase guys down. He's supposed to put elbows in guys' backs, and then Chanot is supposed to distribute. And so I think that's a very reasonable thing. They sent me a mic. I know, whatever. Mike. Anyways,
You're getting love in the chat too.
Yeah, I think he's fine. The problem isn't that Aaron Long is bad at soccer. The problem is that he's not worth the money that we're paying for him, which I have to keep reiterating over and
No,
over.
do we have to go over the economics of all this once again? You keep going on
Get
and
him,
on
Vince.
about salary, and you keep forgetting that to get that level replacement player, then you're also talking about a transfer fee, which oddly enough are usually much higher than salaries. So if you want to just pay, and by the way, an American worker, a good at-home American worker,
A union
a
worker.
Union man.
wage,
A union
living
man.
wage, then you should be getting Aaron Long. I'm just saying. No,
What
but
do you have
this is
against
the thing.
America, Jeff?
It's not.
Huh?
It's never.
The
I'm just saying
war.
it's never in a
Constant
it's
war
never
is
in a
my-
vacuum.
My anti-American statement. Sorry, Vince. I had to. Anyways,
I'm just
Wait,
saying it's never in a vacuum.
under-
When you consider you could be paying someone that much, yeah, maybe you could, but then you also are thinking about a transfer fee and stuff like that. So at the time he was available, and sure, around the world there might have been defenders of also that could have came to LAFC, but they would have cost a transfer fee, and then they become a DP. And then Jeff, we're having a conversation about do you want DP center backs?
I do. I want that guy from Dortmund as my DP center back. That's what I want. But
I want
yeah,
Matt Hummels is a great player. He is not a DP.
interesting. You don't think he's
If Giorgio Chiellini is not a DP, Matt Hummels is not a DP.
right? But Giorgio Chiellini came as a not a DP because he wanted to live in Los
I don't.
Angeles.
I don't.
guess
care.
we're just saying
Matt Hummels is a very good player, but has never even like touched even close. I'll say this too. And I'll go farther because I said this to the guys in a chat at one point. Everyone's going on about Nacho Fernandez. Good player. But if you think that his arrival to MLS will be anywhere near what Giorgio Chiellini's is, you need to go back and rewatch how good Giorgio Chiellini was. Nacho Fernandez,
You're a Juve
good player.
I forget you're a Juve guy. Okay,
Good player.
Absolutely.
Nice that he's gotten his flowers playing, with his hometown squad in Madrid for the longest time, but he's always been a bit player for Madrid. Giorgio Chiellini was a world-class player, probably the number one defender of his generation.
I like him too. He seems it's good.
And he knows your name, Vince. That's the part you like about him the most.
He does. He wishes Travis happy birthday, but make sure to say hello to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't in the chat. It wasn't in the request at all.
Why would we do that? Actually, we didn't even. What are you talking about? We didn't even request it. He wanted to tell you happy birthday. Yeah,
he just sent that in. He just wanted to wish you happy birthday.
Jeff Talk, thank you for calling in. It is always my least favorite time of the week.
Hold on. I got.
Oh God damn it! What more could you say? You've said more than Darren at this point.
What do you?
I hate Canada more than I hate America. Just to be clear, there was a comment on the screen that said I put my hand on my heart over Canada.
All right, get him out of here.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Okay.
I don't need your opinion of countries. We got another caller.
Hold on. Before we bring on another caller, I have a couple more happy feet that I want to get to. Just because I want to make sure I don't forget. Kai Kamara attempting a bicycle kick early in the game made me so happy. I really enjoyed him. And it
decent too for a miss.
Good. Yeah. I'm waiting for that goal. It's coming for him. Maybe he's going to do it. He's going to score 2 at the Rose Bowl.
Look, Bouanga and Oliveira have set the trajectory. Has set the timeline. That's how long the warm up needs to take this season.
Yeah,
I think it's 15 games before
his hold up play was better though. Like he really helped the team a lot more. Yes, he didn't score, but compared to other games where he hasn't scored, which is every other game he's played in, he actually was more involved in the way he helped the team. And maybe that's him rounding into form and feeling a little bit better on the field. So to Travis's point, a goal does feel like it's coming.
And 2 other things I just want to say about St. Louis fans. All of them look like they would pull a gun if you park in front of their house. And is there a ravioli fan section? Why do they have ravioli hats on?
Fried ravioli is like their thing.
It's
a St. Louis thing, and they have it in the stadium. Yeah, they talked a little bit about it on the broadcast, but it's their thing.
Like the thing for the city of St. Louis or for the team?
Yeah,
kind of a St. Louis thing. And then yes, they also have it in the stadium.
We should have a civil war. That's fucking disgusting. We're not in the same. We don't go to the same school.
They when there was the day where everyone picked like what their local area's food was going to be. They went right for the fried ravioli, and they were like, "This is ours," and everyone else was like, "I wasn't gonna."
They were last in the draft.
We weren't interested in that one.
Jesus Christ, I couldn't believe it. Like, whatever. We don't wear taco hats. All right. I just wanted to get that out there before we brought on another smart person. Welcome back to the show, our good friend LAFC Luke. Any happy feet or sad feet from the game, Luke?
Well, first I gotta say, speaking of the supporters, did you hear their version of "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time"?
I did not. Someone pointed that out in the chat. Like, when was it? Well, do you know what does anyone know what that's about? Is that a thing? Is that their Sweet Caroline?
I have no idea, but I was like, that okay. If you could sing. Maybe. Yeah.
Also, Luke, we have to point out that your walk today is a victory lap, which is the best.
That's true.
And just making sure you're not driving right now, right?
I also have to call out Travis. You made us all sad for the last 4 days that Ilie was going to be gone for the rest of his lifetime because he cried on the sideline.
You see a grown man cry and you get worried. I was so worried for him because I have such a fondness for him. There's people yelling at me on Twitter that we said to bench him, which we never said. We said that the Atuesta Ilie thing was maybe not working and we should figure something out there. I kind of wanted us to bench Atuesta. I've since been proven wrong that it's working fine. So I just want to say, everyone shut the fuck up. And I'm sorry that I felt bad that Ilie was crying. I was worried about my dad.
I mean, that first pass he had was certainly not convincing that he was 100%, but as he just kicked it out off the sideline, you know. And I'm just gonna, before I get to my happy stat feed, I have to say, for once, I agree with Mr. Talk. about that second yellow. That dude knew what he was doing. He was reaching that hand around to
All
get
right.
Sergey in the face, and he got called on it. And he should have gotten called on it. So,
He had a rough day. I feel like he's not going to be happy for 24 hours, that man.
Loved hearing all those classy St. Louis fans chanting "Ref, you suck" for the next 10 minutes. That was something else.
They did that in Key, at least.
Yeah.
They did. You're right. You're right. You're totally right. They did.
We got to find out about
Happy
him
Foot-
maybe one more time. We got to figure out
Foot-
what the
actually,
reason
my
is.
happy foot is Aaron Long. I know, don't hate, but that dude in a couple really key moments, he stepped up and he cleared the ball. And I mean, maybe I'm just seeing things, but like I felt like, okay, he's earning his paycheck.
No, you're amongst friends here. He's been mentioned already as a happy foot. Even Jeff Talk came on and cops to it.
And ultimately, that's the center back's job. Like LAFC really, I mean, look, as much as we get on them for not being very good at passing, and they still weren't until Chanot got into the game, but their job really is to allow the fullbacks to get forward and then protect them. And in moments when the whole team is forward, there's going to be times when those center backs are going 2v2 or even 3v2, and they're going to just be asked to do a little bit more and cover a little bit more ground. And Aaron was smart in the way he did it, because you can go too early. Like teams can start to understand that you're gonna do that, and they'll run a guy into the channels and then play the ball back through the middle. And he just got his timing right, and also didn't give up. That I can remember, I think he gave up maybe one set piece, but compared to a lot of the other guys on the team, especially the midfield, wasn't giving up as many set pieces, which seemingly was going to be a big problem throughout the game. But LAFC got that VAR review, and then luckily was able to dodge a bullet with all the rest of them.
Yeah, and my sad foot was going to be his partner, because Murillo, there were a few times. There's one in particular in the first half where he just.
It's sweet you refer to him as his partner.
Yeah, that's nice.
He just headed the ball into the air in midfield to nobody in particular. Just, and then everyone has to scramble and figure out where the fuck is this going to land and what the fuck are we going to do? And that was not the only time that happened. And I'm so tired of that play from Murillo. Like, he is not like unique to this game. He does it all the time.
He's been
Yeah,
real.
no matter how upset that you get at him, you open it up with too much empathy. Now it's like it's all just calling him his partner to me feels like he's blowing it, and he needs our support right now.
Yeah, we need the partnership to last. We don't want them to break up. That said, he's got a nice man on the side in Chanot. I think Aaron might have a new partner.
Like, good together. Long and Murillo makes me nervous.
Yeah,
sure.
And honestly, Chanot and Murillo is better to me than Long and Murillo. I just feel like there's a real connective tissue to when we play well, and it often is Chanot now. Seemingly such a smart signing from John Thornton. Thanks for calling, Luke. It's always great to hear from you. We love you.
I also wonder on Murray if, and obviously there was a little bit of rotation, and so Chanot not playing is probably part of that. But I wonder if it was designed to have Murray and Long, because they are both more kind of rugged and slide over and just kind of put out fire center backs, which you kind of needed against St. Louis, because they are a transition heavy team. And look, Murray had it not the best game, but he still got the job done in a lot of ways. I mean, he frustrates me with one of the big notes that I took was like every single time the ball comes to him, he allows the ball to roll completely across his feet to get to his right foot, because he's so right foot dominant that it honestly, it drains any space and time that he has and makes him that much worse on the ball. So it's like, just take the touch and then figure it out. But I would be curious from Steve, like if they were just thinking like, we're going to need, especially against Klaus too, we're going to need just two guys that can deal with that. And if we need Chanot like they did, we can bring him in late. So that might've been a good plan from Steve. And we haven't really talked about, kind of the way Steve managed this game. And I think he did a pretty good job.
I think Steve has done a really great job, especially
Dolo out.
Dolo out to dinner. He deserved it. He's earned a dinner.
Yeah, take him out.
We've gotten this far into the show, 23 minutes in, without mentioning a brace from Denny Bouanga, including a beautiful Bouanga blast and a little Bouanga bump over the goalie.
Is that an announcement from Bouanga? We don't know. Is he pregnant?
A Bouanga bump.
A little bit.
I thought,
of bump.
it just meant he was addicted again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, he did.
He did a bump.
He's been
That's
doing
I guess
Bouanga
that's the
lines.
difference between us. That's what you
And
think
now,
of. That's
and
what
now I have
think
now I have outed myself.
Look, it's so good to see our front line clicking again, and especially because I've heard that there might be someone else joining the team this summer. It just feels good to see Kike. Another incredible game. He's playing with so much confidence now. He hit a shot from pretty far out that was like inches away from going in. He's cutting through the defender. He's always in the right place. He's just playing like a guy who feels like himself and is feeling himself. What did you guys see from our front line?
Outside the box.
Woo, seafood confidence. Seafood, we eat it.
The front line was so in the first half. The front line was interesting. It was clear that they were outlets for transition, and they did an okay job, but they were very much individualists. I thought, like you said, Oliveira got a bit of swag to him, and I like that. Even if he's not making all the shots, he's at least making the right decision and showing a little bit more quality. I thought, other than the goals, and I'll have to watch it again, but it felt like in the second half, Steve was a little bit weary of how much transition St. Louis was going in and how many free runs they kind of had at the back line. He kind of dropped his midfield back a little farther, and then also to compensate had his wingers drop back, which kind of negated a little bit of their ability to go in transition. But they found a way with Bouanga and Bogusz gambling on that long ball, which if you're St. Louis, I understand that no one goes with Bogusz because he's been the furthest midfielder forward, and they kind of play like a man system. So they're like, look, what's he going to do with the ball back there? But if you're the back line and you see that Bogusz has absolutely zero pressure on him, you cannot push forward and think that he's not going to just drop it over the top to Bouanga. That's just a childish, silly play. So that was interesting. But yeah, the front line, they took care of business. They scored the goals they needed to, and then they helped out defensively.
That Bogusz pass was beautiful, and I know that it was St. Louis fucking up a little bit, but Bogusz playing in the midfield is so much nicer than Bogusz playing in the false nine, and I don't care who knows it.
I think it just depends. He has good games. He had a really good game against Vancouver. And I think he had a rough game to start this one because in midfield, he just wasn't getting the ball. Like the midfield early in the game was not working for me. The amount of times that Atuesta was left on his own, and he's not as heavy in the tackle as Ilie. So there was times when they kind of bossed him a little bit. And that's why I think in the second half, Steve was like, look, Timmy and Maddie, you got to help Edward a little bit more, and we'll even get the wingers involved, because if we continue to leave him on an island, they're gonna pick us off, and they're gonna be running at our back four all night.
I agree. Darren, any happy feet or sad feet? We haven't heard from you.
I got a few. Back to Bouanga real quick. Logs makes a great point in the chat there. That first goal was absolutely beautiful. That first touch, the 1-2, like both of his goals are something we've not seen from him this season, beyond just like finally being on target so often. But the same, like both him and Oliveira are adding dimensions to their game every match now, and it's great to see. We already mentioned Oliveira with the confident shot outside the 18 that looked a lot nicer than other people's confident shots outside the 18 usually do, I guess you would say.
Including Denny Bouanga recently.
Including Bouanga. But like the finesse from Bouanga just after a match where he's like putting 3 assists on the board, like this is beautiful. I love seeing this. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to
change the subject.
Before you do on Oliveira, I got to point out that Ruben, who listens to the show, sent me a message on Instagram, and he goes, "So far, Oliver, not listening to your advice to shoot closer." And I was like, "That is a good observation."
Yeah, very funny.
The recommendation was to shoot within 5 feet of the net more often.
5 yards and in, buddy. Let's get back to that next game. We got away from it, and you showed what you can do, but let's get back to the plan. Let's get back to the blueprint.
What I also feel like now we're almost a half hour in, and at the very least we haven't talked enough about Lloris with a PK save and fully shut them down. Like just before the PK save, he was not the Lloris we've been seeing. I don't know if it was the right move. I don't know if it was like should have been necessary, but he like scampered way out of the net on that corner.
Yeah, someone on Patreon pointed out that that's a real Tyler Miller move. Did you? He was way out of it, way out of position.
Sure, I'll go
but
there.
he said we wanted him to fucking move around.
Yeah.
We're getting movement.
Look, ever since
but
ever
doing a
since
little
he's
too
been
much,
like
baby.
feeling a little more elastic, he's ready. He's staying hot. He's on his feet. He's on his toes. And he was ready to stop a PK.
Well,
I mean,
I feel like we said something a couple episodes ago, not that long ago, where we were like, Lloris is not moving. That's been proven false 3 games in a row now. And we said we never see Dueñas, and he's played 3 games in a row now.
Everything we've brought up that we have a problem with this season has been like roundly, like just completely negated, which is what we want. That's great.
Jay
I'm not taking
Gutierrez
credit
says,
for it. I'm just saying, like, that's good.
hot take, we're playing better now than we were last year at this point in the season.
That's
that's hard to say because at this point last season, I don't think we'd like lost a game yet. We were about to start petering out at this point.
Give it a few more games and then it'll be true no matter what. Because
this is still.
When did we start like never scoring for 10 games?
Well, the Champions League final 2 legs was at the very end of May and then into June, and then that's
when it fell apart.
Yeah. So right now is actually when we were all like, we're the best team in the world. We're never going to lose a game. We're going to easily stomp on Leon. So I guess maybe that's just a precursor. Like, just be careful.
Love being reminded of that point in the season last year. Thanks for that.
I think we could do a watch along for one of those games too for LAFC. It was
brutal. God, well, yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did the first Leon game, which the only saving grace was that goal right at the end to make it 2-1 that made us feel a little bit better.
Yeah, that was fun.
Also came the moment after I kicked Adam Conover off the stream. I was like, you get out of here. Like, this is not going well, Adam, and you don't want to be here for this. And he gets off, and literally we are screaming that we scored. He
texted me after being like, you took me off right before the fun started. Sorry, Darren, you were about to say some more happy feet or sad feet.
I wanted, what was it? More Hugo.
I have a sad foot that I want to say quickly. We're the only team in history that looks worse when we play with 10 men. We've dealt with red cards. Against 10 men. 3 times this season we played against red cards, which has been a surprisingly high amount, I feel like. And each time it happens, we somehow seem so much shakier than we were before. It's like the pressure of having that, and we've scored, I think, all 3 times. But it doesn't look good. It looks terrifying when somehow we give up the ball when we have an extra man.
Different. This one was very different. Those other ones, like, it was the fear of, oh God, we're going to have so much of the ball and we're not used to having so much of the ball. And the more we have of the ball, the more we can make a mistake. This was like, we were kind of happy. I mean, we were definitely happy that they went down a man because they were really pushing. And then it was like, well, they're still going to push because they've got nothing to lose. Let's not be stupid and think that all of a sudden, because they've gone down a man, that's going to be, because for their playing style, it doesn't matter. They're going to flood numbers forward. They don't really have patterns or like a positional play. They're just going to get men forward. So I think it was right of them to continue to be like, let's be a little bit cautious here. And to your point, that we still score. We've still scored every single time though.
Yeah. It just looks scary.
Yeah.
I think like a kind of overall happy for me is that it's nice to have 2 matches in a row now where we like played the way we were trying to play on purpose. It felt like last match we were like, okay, this is LAFC. This is what, like, we found who we're supposed to be. We were clearly trying to do exactly what happened. It all came together.
You all right, Darren?
Yeah.
Did someone break into your house?
We just fall over.
I'm good.
It seems like someone is off camera with like a note that says, don't say anything.
No, my son is up to the mischief.
I wanted to be your son and the dog, like, together, working in tandem, doing something, trying to like pull off a caper.
My dog's back here.
Oh, there's your dog. Oh yeah, hey.
Yeah, look at that. She's just
taking a nap. Well,
thanks,
I guess we're just so entertaining.
What was I saying? We played the way we actually wanted to play 2 games. Has that even happened once this season?
I was about to say, is this the first back-to-back
win of the season? First
I mean,
back-to-back
that's
win of the season.
incredible.
And
Even
I
if we
mean,
had-
it doesn't fully
even if we had-
count, but U.S. Open Cup was also a win. So 3 wins in a row
Sure.
for
That's
the
it.
team.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. I would have at least taken something away from a game that we lost, but it felt like we played our game, and that didn't happen until now. So I'm very
Somebody
happy to see
swatted
that.
Darren as well.
That is exactly what it sounded like.
Dear God.
I don't
that's
know how
horrifying.
that was the sound. It was literally
So-
just one person opening a door.
Somebody
That's
from
never
St.
what
Louis
that
was
has sounded
really
like in the
upset about
past,
our fried ravioli slander, and they swatted you.
It's just
I did say there should be
it's
a
a
civil
door full
war.
of fried ravioli
Yeah.
coming.
Travis did mention that they're gun toting and very
Yeah.
happy about it. So we poked the bear there.
Yeah.
Fly over for a reason, man. I'm not like anytime someone tries to make me feel bad about the Midwest, I see tornadoes and I'm like, I'm never fucking going there, man. That happens like twice a year. Big storm clouds from the sky destroy an entire city. People are scared of earthquakes. A bad one happens like once every 30 years. Tornadoes are like daily. What are we talking
You're scared.
about?
I don't know, but an earthquake's definitely about to happen now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. It just feels like we're back to our old
done.
self.
we're
And we got more people coming. This roster's thin. I mean, I
Mhm.
guess when
Get the
there's
weekend
an
off.
and we get the weekend off. Fuck, man. We get the weekend off too. That's great.
Yeah, we do.
Chris says St. Louis not even top 5 Midwestern cities. Who are they? Okay,
Ooh.
Chicago counts, right? Chicago's a
Chicago's
Midwestern city.
One by far.
Minneapolis, that's an upper Midwest city. I love
Is
Minneapolis.
Milwaukee technically a Midwest city? Because Milwaukee's sneaky underrated, very good.
Yeah, so we'll say Milwaukee.
Okay.
So we got 3. What other Midwest
Cincinnati?
cities? I don't love Cincinnati. I've been there. I know you're a big Cincinnati head, Darren.
Am I?
It's okay.
You're always
My
talking
family's in
about
Cleveland.
Cincinnati. Oh, Cleveland is where you're from. I'm trying.
Cleveland can be cool too if you
Indy. People say in Indy. I've never been to Indy.
This is a mini
I'm
throw
not
for
in
me and
Indy.
Fuck the
Travis.
Pacers.
Travis doesn't like when I defend Cleveland.
yeah, Indy's a little it's too it's weird. Indy's a
KC
weird
is solid.
place.
We're seeing in the
I
chat.
actually do think Kansas City is a cool place.
I've never been.
Maybe,
Is Tennessee Midwest?
Yeah, I mean parts I guess like
Nashville?
Nashville is
I don't
definitely
know.
a great.
Feels-
I would put Nashville at 2 if that's considered Midwest. But I could.
yeah, the western portion of it is so like Memphis.
Yeah, both Tennessee cities are great.
Yeah.
I just don't think of that as the Midwest. I like
Yeah.
the Midwest is like Ohio, but I guess it is because it's not the South.
Yeah, but like Memphis isn't Memphis on the Mississippi, and so is St. Louis. So I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
it's
it
just
has to be.
cooler than St. Louis.
I want to do
We've
it.
already shown that a lot is.
It's
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Someone said Pittsburgh. Is
No,
that-
that's
Pittsburgh's
Pittsburgh's
Midwest. No, it's
That's going too
that's
far now.
Mid-Atlantic.
That's
Pennsylvania
East
is Mid-Atlantic.
Ohio.
Yeah. Okay.
Gary,
I don't know,
Indiana's
Pittsburgh-
number 1.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna take the side of Pittsburgh being Midwest, and I'm happy to be proven wrong on that. But I think
but
it
it's
counts.
farther east than like even Cleveland.
Yeah, so they're both Midwest.
What about
I mean,
Lexington,
let's be
Kentucky?
fair.
How do we
We
feel
live
about
in
Lexington?
California. Everything that's not New York City is
Everything's
Midwest.
far west.
Oscar Morales says Madison. I love Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Madison, Wisconsin
That's
is a fun
Midwest?
fucking town.
Good
Oh,
place.
yeah, that's
If
great.
Milwaukee is, Madison is.
Yeah.
This
Des
is
Moines,
great.
I've been to. Des Moines not bad, but it's a little small.
Mm.
Daniel says so many American cities suck. That's true.
Sorry,
I
but many
remember-
American cities suck. Yeah, of course.
That's literally
yeah,
been a
I mean,
point of contention
yeah.
for like the last 50 years.
Chris
I wanna
Lafferty
give a-
says Pittsburgh is definitely not the Midwest, and he speaks as a 10-year veteran of Chicago. Funny to
What
call
better
yourself a
authority is there
veteran
on
of the city.
Pittsburgh? What better authority is there on
Chicago.
Pittsburgh than a 10-year veteran of Chicago? Thank you for showing us your bona fides.
Detroit is better than St. Louis, no lie. Oh, that's a hot take.
Yikes.
I think Detroit's like really cool. Like St. Louis
Depends,
has no
parts.
dependent Detroit. Yeah, I know that there's like dangerous parts, but there's dangerous parts in a lot of cities. It's
But
just
not
like
even just dangerous. There's parts of Detroit where like you literally go and it just feels like the start of a horror movie, and it's not dangerous and like that you think actual people are going to be there, but there might be monsters. And like there's like kids playing in the middle, like playing like dodgeball in the middle of the night, and you're like, where did you come from? And like jumping rope, and like it literally looks the start of just a very scary movie.
If you asked me where of the Midwest cities where I'd want to live and would I rather live in Detroit, I would say we've only maybe named 2 or 3 I'd rather live in than Detroit. I think
Sure.
Detroit is a cooler place than most.
I mean, it's got nowhere to go but up.
Well, I've got
your Long Beach is showing, Vince. Your hatred of Detroit.
That's true.
I liked it, but it was just like, again, it was an eerie feeling, and I just remember being there on tour.
There's like abandoned parts of it, yeah.
Well, like we got there. I remember being in there on tour, and I've never like the guys that I was on tour with, they were older guys, and they've been around for like a long time. And I've never seen the lead singer of the band so concerned. He was like, "Okay, guys, like literally, we're getting out. Everyone's like, okay, stretch your legs. Like we're about to unpack the gear." He goes, "Guys, gather up. Can we just gather up?" He goes, "Look, across the street, there's a convenience store. If you need anything, go there right now. Get it right now. Cigarettes, anything." He's like, "But from now on, no one leaves the club unless there is another person with them, and we do not carry the gear out until we're all together." And I was just like, okay, like, and then I had to take the van around the club, like through a neighborhood. And that's when I saw the creepy Children from the Corn, like I was just driving the van in like just the weirdest neighborhood.
Darren and I used to play Foursquare in the middle of the night in college. Were we scary?
That would terrify me. Even just 2 generic white guys playing Foursquare in the middle of the night is a terrifying thing.
So Kimberly says, per Google, the Midwestern states are Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, South Dakota. The Dakotas are in the Midwest? That's the Mountain West.
If Wisconsin is.
Shout out to Kimberly for fully doing research for us.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Minnesota, I mean, Milwaukee is definitely number 2 there. Or not Milwaukee. Minneapolis. Minneapolis fucking rules. I love Minneapolis. Upper Midwest is better than Midwest.
This conversation.
The numbers of viewers are going up as we talk about it.
Yeah, we ran out of steam, and now we're just doing cool city talk. Wait, so Minneapolis is higher than Madison for you, though?
Yeah, I would go Chicago, Minneapolis, then maybe Madison. I mean, we're not including Tennessee.
Yeah, no Tennessee. Let's just for sake of this argument.
Yeah, then I guess Madison's 3rd. Behind.
When was the last time you were in Minneapolis?
I went to Minneapolis twice when I worked at Crooked for tour, and it was great. I went once in the summer and once in the winter, and it's just such a great city. Like the great food, great walking around.
Yeah.
Daniel also has been having some fucking. He's been going off about city design in the comments, and I just want to point out. He says, "Travis, I actually enjoyed Cincy." I'm going to back up a little bit. He goes, "If you want actual cities, go to Europe." He then says, most American cities are not cities, they're suburban settlements. And then he also says, NYC is the best city in America, which I'm not going to comment on as a Knicks fan. He says most American cities suck. Look, it's very, I'm happy that we have a man that I know enjoys walkable cities. I love a walkable city, but the majority of American cities are built after
Cleveland.
The car.
I have now that we're in garbage time, I've got an athlete's foot to give out.
Yeah, do it.
Yes.
I got to shout out whoever's doing the ad integrations for the broadcast. We had the heat map by Celsius. We had the bench built by Home Depot. I mean, this is. I know we got messy, but like this is how the league becomes sustainable, guys. MLS is going to be around for a while. We have great minds figuring this stuff out.
Back when Apple was coming in and was announced, I was lucky enough to maybe have like a few conversations with Apple when we were at 110 because we were like trying to figure out like maybe where we fit in. And I remember talking to someone high up at Apple, and he was like, "Well, we're not gonna have stupid shit like the top 5 brought to you by Castrol Oil." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Because he's like, "Look, we have money. We don't need." He's like, "What are we gonna do? Advertise for Samsung? We're not gonna do that." And then now, literally, Darren just rattled off a list. And Darren, literally, like whenever I see that, I laugh because I like it too. But I still think back to that guy being like, "We're not gonna do that." I'm like,
too good for that shit.
No, MLS is gonna tell you they have to do that because they need that money bad.
Look, the bar. I just think for things like that, it's maybe a pet peeve of mine, but like that is good, and like it needs to be that good to be in any way tolerable. It's absolutely terrible. As soon as you get one notch lower than that, it's the worst.
But could we make the heat map any bigger? And let's
little.
and let's continuously do it while
Explain the
play is
heat
going
map
on.
better.
Also,
They need
that
to
couldn't have
explain
been
what it is.
that was
Don't-
the worst
don't
game
do
to
all
do a
the balls
heat map
out of
because
play.
it's literally just like
Everywhere. Yeah, he was
middle
everywhere.
of the road everywhere.
Yeah.
This was a basketball game.
I gotta call out GTG Law in the comments who said, "Is New York City considered a safe place to walk nowadays?" Yes, it's New York City. I've been there like 6 times already this year. I could walk in every neighborhood I went to. Whoever thinks New York City is unsafe to walk in reads the New York Post too much because they heard that Steve Buscemi got punched, and they think that, like, yes, every once in a while people get punched. There was a person in downtown LA that got like shit poured on them. It happens everywhere. New York City is probably the safest place to walk in the. I feel much safer walking in New York City than in the suburbs where I'm alone. Like, there's no one around to walk with me. That said, LA is a better city.
I took the bus to and from the LAFC game this past weekend, and since then there's been like 3 major incidents on metro buses, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Look, I feel like we've done a good 15 minutes on urban planning. I think we might be done. If you're watching, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, tell a friend about the show, share it, let other people
Travis,
know. We love having you around.
They're not watching. No one's watching. No one's watching.
People
at this point.
These are all
If you're
bots.
watching, holy shit! I don't know what to
tell
say.
you. I'm looking at the numbers. The numbers have gone up since we started.
really
People
have.
like our urban design talk more than they like. Okay, if you
I
guys
think
don't
that's
want us to talk about soccer anymore, let us know. We'll talk about
Talk
cities.
about anything.
That's an indictment of MLS. That's not our fault.
Yeah.
Tim, it isn't. Tim, it isn't a humble brag. If you know anything about my year, look,
boy.
this is
Just a
so
humble.
fun. We're back. We are back, motherfuckers. We're back. Okay, we are set. We're tied for second in the West. Last I checked, we're at least third in the West. We had our worst start. We need to wash that away. We are one of the best teams in the West. We have maybe the second best goal scorer in MLS joining the team in July. It's time to start feeling like ourselves again. We're ahead of the Galaxy in the table. You cannot say enough about how right that feels. All is right with the world. We won back-to-back games. We won on the road. We got a week off, and then we play a really tough team from Loudoun, Virginia on Tuesday. So we'll see you then.
Wow,
I'm
we've
Travis
mentioned every city
Helwig.
but them.
At Loudoun.
Talk about a
Look,
place that exists.
Justin Perez says I subscribed in the middle of the naming cities segment. You're not getting that on Voices of Black and Gold. You're not getting the name in the cities.
All they talk about is LAFC. I don't know why.
Why are all these LAFC podcasts only talking about LAFC?
Yeah. However, if you guys do want to talk cities in your other podcasts, please. We
feel
don't
free.
own. We
Also,
don't own it. You guys can
Go
take it.
subscribe. Go subscribe to Voice of Black and Gold Defenders. All the other ones. There's like too many to name at this point, but because I name check them, I do want to say I listen and they're great. I didn't want it to be a thing where I said it and everyone thought I was throwing shit. Look, this was so fun. We're back. Anything else before we go?
No, we've covered so much, maybe too much.
Is Loudoun
Maybe.
Midwest logs?
Let's find out. Let's play a trivia
That's a
game.
good,
about
nope.
Loudoun. I'll put it
That's a good
together.
place to end.
Timothy
Good.
said it first. Look, Vince, I want you to end with your catchphrase because people have been asking
Vince,
for it in the chat.
Tell them what that was.
That's sports, baby.
I love you.